Hey guys, hey, it's Bree here coming at you guys with another video. Today I want to talk about staying true to yourself. So if you like this video, please hit the like button below. And if you haven't already, well, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. And with that said, let's go. Staying true to yourself. It is one of the hardest things to honestly do, especially in this time of age. I am one of those people that I actually used to care a lot about what people thought and about what people, especially thought about me or what I was doing, or I felt like I had to keep up this image and stuff, but I wasn't being true to myself. I wasn't being the real me. And the real me, if you guys have watched my previous videos, or if you guys know me in real life, I'm kind of a quirky person. I'm kind of weird. I'm nerdy. I love to read until the wee hours of the morning. I'm kind of a homebody, but I'm also somebody who likes to go travel and do things on the spur of a moment, kind of stuff like that. I'm also highly sarcastic, extremely jokey, but I also know when to take it down a notch and be serious, because sometimes you cannot joke to people who just don't understand a joke. So, I'm also good at reading people a lot, and I've been told in the past that I'm super intuitive. So, that's a whole nother ballgame, guys, on that part. But the fact of the matter is I actually used to just, especially at work and stuff, I would be like this totally different person. I never stood up for myself. I never took the time for people to really get to know me. And so I always just was what everybody expected me to be, going to school for something that I didn't really want to go to school for, doing stuff that I really didn't want to do, going places that I didn't really want to go. And again, I wasn't being true to me. So one of the things that I've actually started doing in a lot recently is, there for a while I let my religion drop, and I was definitely one of those people that I did not keep to my own religion. I blamed God a lot for some of the things that were happening in my life. And while yes, I needed to take that time and be mad and be furious and be just absolutely pissed off at him and my guardian angel. I do believe in guardian angels, I do believe in angels, but at that time I was so mad at both of them that they could let these things happen in my life, that I let my religion just fall down. And so recently I started reading a verse every single night. I found on Pinterest a Christmas verse, because it is almost Christmas time. And so these verses I read every single night, and they kind of have to do with keeping the spirit of Christmas alive, but it's also getting me back into the rhythm of things. And so I'm actually extremely excited about that. I have not gone back to church yet. Eventually I would like to, but at this point in time I'm still mending my relationship with God, with my angel, still working on my own relationship with myself, because I definitely let that fall down a lot. I was like this totally different person. I wasn't the happy-go-lucky person that I like to be. I wasn't the person that jumped up and tried to make people smile. I was a completely different person than I am today, and I keep looking back at that and I'm thinking, I had to go through those things because I learned a lot from what happened to me, but I also learned just who I could trust, who I could believe in, who would be there for me if something did happen to me. And I learned a lot about myself. I learned that while I didn't think that I needed to go through that I was left completely alone. I mean, I felt so scared and so alone during this time that I honestly felt like I didn't even have family, I didn't have friends, and of course I have family and friends. But I felt like I was just so alone that I was just scared to even walk out my front door. And so I was losing myself. I wasn't being true to myself, because the true me is this headstrong person also who just, I am like, come at me, give it what you got, I got this, I can totally defeat anything, I can totally take on anything. But like I said, I just kind of dropped my religion. I was so mad at them that I was blaming them, when in fact it was kind of my fault, it was my fault. Let's just put that out there. But I had to go through these things to learn a lot, you know. So being true to myself, I've started doing a lot of things for self-help, a lot of reading books and stuff. If you're reading a lot of books that are just kind of good for me also, but not just that, but taking a couple of minutes out of the day just to remind myself where I need to be, what I need to be doing. Stay true to yourself. You know, if I catch myself doing something and then I'm like, wait, that's not you. You know, I take a step back and I'm kind of like, okay, think about this for a second. Do you really want to be doing this? Is this really you, you know, or is it not you? And if it's not you, then walk away from it, because you shouldn't be doing this. If it's not you, walk away from it, because you really should not be doing that if it's not you. It's okay to be yourself. It's okay to be true to you. If you're religious, be religious. If you're not religious, don't be religious. If you like a certain thing, then go ahead and go do that. If you don't like to do something, then tell people you don't like to do it. I'm not a huge fan of bars. I'm not a huge fan of going out and getting drunk and partying. And so I tell people I don't want to go do it. You know, I don't like going into bars. I don't like going there. And so I will tell people no. Now, however, I do love to go dancing. So if there was dancing at this bar, I would probably go into the bar just to go dancing, but you would probably see me have like maybe one beer and that's it. I'm not saying I don't like to have a drink every now and then, because hey, last night I had a glass of wine after going Christmas shopping. I definitely needed that. But it is definitely something that, you know, I used to go out just because everybody else was doing it, but I was never actually truly happy. See, I have what people like to call a resting witch face, which I have reworded that for the purposes of this video. But it's not because I'm not having a good time. It's just because I'm there, you know. That's just my face. And there's nothing wrong with that. So again, that's something, being true to myself. It's just my face. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not really good at making friends when I go out, especially when there's a lot of people around. I tend to clamp up and I tend to just kind of back away. I'm not comfortable, so guess what? I'm not gonna go there. I'm not comfortable being around a whole bunch of people. It brings out the quiet in me, and I'm not a really quiet person. I'm usually like, I'm not a loud person, but I'm kind of a little outspoken, a little bit, you know, you will know if I'm there. I will make my presence known. Once I know you, I am totally talking all the time, so yeah. But it's definitely, you know, one of those things where I walk into a bar and there's just a whole bunch of people there, well then I become quiet. It's not something I can really help, it's just who I am. There's nothing wrong with that. Like I said, being true to who you are, you know. Are you a certain way in relationships? That's fine. You know, do you like things a certain way? Well, then that's okay. You know, I'm kind of OCD. I like to have my apartment clean before I leave for work. I can't leave to work unless my bed is made. If my bed's not made, I'm not headed to work yet. And sometimes it makes me late, which is probably not a good thing, but it's who I am. What can I say? So, you know, also I love spending a lot of time outside. I love just going out. So find ways that bring the real you out. Who are you? You know, sit down and think, who am I? Who do I want to be? What do I want to do? Where do I want to go? What kind of a person do I want to be? Am I being true to myself? Am I actually being the real me? Or do I need to change things up in my life so that I can? Do I need to kick some people out of my life that are kind of negative? Do I need to kick something out of my life that's being negative? Is there negativity in my life? Negativity is one of the things that I honestly say get rid of first. Get rid of the negative, and then the positive can come in. It's the whole law of attraction kind of thing. You know, I notice that a lot. If I think positive thoughts, then positive things are going to come to me. If I sit there and I'm thinking, you know, I can do this, then I can do it. If I'm sitting there thinking, I can't do this, well then guess what? I can do it. I'm telling myself that I can't do it, so I'm psyching myself out of it. And it's definitely one of those things that help you also be true to yourself. You need to sit there and be saying, be true to me. Who am I? Be myself. Be myself. Be myself. You don't have to be what everybody else wants you to be. You can be whatever you want to be. A lot of people wanted me to go to nursing school, but I wasn't cut out for it. Yes, I liked being a CNA. I liked healthcare. And I love helping people. But I wasn't cut out for nursing school. It wasn't because I wasn't making good grades, because I was actually on the honor roll. But I just could not get myself to focus enough to go to nursing school, to do that. It just, to me, it just sounded like the worst thing in the world. And you know what? It just wasn't who I was supposed to be. It wasn't where I was supposed to go. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, I am a creative person. I like doing creative things. I love photography. I love editing videos. I love painting and drawing. I love reading. I love helping people. So for me, I had to find a way to combine all of those together. Being true to myself and not what everybody else expects me to do or be. Where do I want to live? Where do I want to go? You know, I tend to, when people tell me, like, especially nowadays, when they tell me that I need to be a certain way, I tend to back away from that person and say no. You know, like, I tend to not really like that person anymore. For a while, I would just kind of like hold a grudge towards them and just be like, I hate you. Like, you're not cool, so whatever. But now I've noticed myself kind of standing up and saying, no, that's not who I am. Like, I don't want to go do that. That's not where I want to be. I can remember actually being told that, you know, the last time I was back in Landers, so many people are sitting there telling me, you need to live in a big city. You need to live in a big city because you're so young. But I'm not a big city kind of person. I'm a small town kind of girl, and I kind of miss having, you know, a yard for Sammy to play in and just walking out and sitting on my porch and drinking a cup of coffee. So I'm working towards changing that. I'm working towards figuring out how to get to a small town. Even if it means that I have to go back to my hometown. Even if it means that I have to move away from where I'm at. You know, how am I going to get there? But that's staying true to me. I'm not meant to be in this town. I know it because I'm just not comfortable here. I'm just not at home here. But I do know that home is still out there, and that's being true to me. I'm looking for a way to find home. I'm looking for a way to get there. I'm looking for, you know, how am I going to do this while still being true to myself? It is extremely hard, like I said, in today's world to be true to yourself. It's extremely hard to find a way to just, you know, stay at the level that you want to be at and not what everybody else expects of you. One of the things that I really like to do is write down a lot of the times. I love writing down things like, you know, what do you want to do, especially this week? You know, ways to keep yourself focused on, you know, the goal that you want, the direction that you want to go, being true to yourself, just a way to keep yourself on that straight path of yourself. And so I write these things down a lot. I write them down, usually Sunday night. I will write down a whole week of just reminding myself of being true to myself, because it is super hard sometimes, because I have been influenced before to act the way I haven't. I'm actually thinking back to like high school and stuff, of course, when I used to pretend like I was somebody I definitely wasn't. And then of course college, this is the funniest thing ever. I was really into the rodeo, which I love horses, I love riding, and I love animals and all that stuff, and I would love someday to kind of own a farm with horses and chickens and stuff, but I'm definitely not a rodeo girl. Like, they're fun to watch, and I live in Wyoming, so of course they're every summer. But yeah, I can remember thinking like I had to have the cow boots. I had to have the cow boots. I had to wear like all the Western gear and stuff like that. And that's not who I am. I'm not the Western person. I'm kind of like a more of a comfortable kind of clothes and, you know, kind of within style, you know, what's going on, the trend and that kind of stuff. So that's kind of who I am, you know. Again, just, you know, it took me a long time to figure all of this out and just kind of figure out who I actually was. I had to step away from a lot of things. I took I think I took about a week of just spending the entire time alone, and all by myself. Of course, Sammy was there, but Sammy's always right there, which is great, you know. Huh. But I took about a week and I just kind of stepped away from everything, and I just thought about who I actually wanted to be, what I actually wanted to do, where I actually wanted to go. And when I took that time and stepped away, you know, I started mending the relationship with myself. And again, that's where you really have to start, mending your relationship with yourself. Just taking the time to build that relationship with yourself. Now, I know that sounds weird, but you know, for me, it was spending a lot of time alone. It was just being completely and truly single, and I'm glad for it. I'm super glad for the time that I've had, because I've learned a lot about myself and who I actually am. But it definitely starts there. It starts with mending that relationship with yourself, taking the time to just figure it out, you know, whether it's, you know, writing things down in a book, or going for a walk or a hike, or even getting back into exercise, eating healthy again. You know, these are all things that I started changing about myself. Take that time, just take some time to mend your relationship with yourself. And with that, with mending your relationship with yourself, you're going to mend your relationship with a lot of other people. I've noticed a huge difference in my friendships with a lot of my friends. You know, one friend in particular has popped back up into my life, and it's because, you know, in the time that it took of me mending my relationship with myself, she showed back up because she's doing the same thing. She's mending her own relationship with herself, and so we kind of help each other out in a way. And it took us, I don't know, we've gone down like this really amazing path where we've just been learning a lot about each other again, and just being friends again, and just being a part of each other's life again, and it's amazing. And so I found my friend again, and it's great, and I'm super happy she's back in my life, along with all of my other friends. You know, I've noticed I've been mending relationships with all of my friends. We always have opposites of each other. You know, I have opposites in my life, people who are definitely not completely like me, but you know what, I support them no matter what. And because of that, it stays true to myself also. When I support them, I'm staying true to me, because I'm saying, yeah, it's not really up my alley, but you go, girlfriend. So, but you know, like I said, start with yourself. Start taking a little bit of time, whether it's, you know, meditation, whether it's exercise, whether it's a walk, whether it's just reading a book, whether it's writing something down. Write things down. I am a huge fan of writing things down. I don't know why, but I write a lot of things down. I have a lot of journals where I'm looking at them going, yeah, you definitely shouldn't have gone down that path, girlfriend. Like, you shouldn't have done that, but you did, and you learned from it, and now you're staying true to yourself. Now you're figuring yourself out again. So I am super excited to see where this next year takes me. I'm super excited to stay true to myself this next year, and working on my relationship with myself, and of course everybody else in my life also. And I'm actually really excited for 2018. Like, this is going to be an absolutely amazing year. I can already tell. 2017, it started out a little rocky, but it's getting better. And so I am super excited. And I'm also excited to keep these things in my life throughout the next year, and staying true to myself, and just really testing myself to make sure that I do stay true to myself. So with that said, you guys, I have to go and take Sammy for a walk. So again, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys. Bye.